growling nicker and stiffening gait beneath me, we must be getting near. Up and out of the buckbrush draw, view obscured in the rising slope as yellow, white, and pink fall seed heads bend and tremble in the October breeze. My horse a shiver now, he dances off the trail as we pass their droppings, the scent alien, primitive, somehow uncivilized to him. Then we see them, upwind on the next hillside, heads down deep in Indian grass and blue stem, a rangeland feast for sagebrush mustangs, still unaware as we trot into view. In unison, their bent silhouettes lift, heads up, noses high, eyes turning to frame us. Legs bend, stiffen, and away they charge. The stallion, 3 mares, the yearling, and 2 strong colts, all of fiery red-edged black, their ebony muscles lined and fluid in an instant run. They trace the plateau rim rock west, tails high, the long blue-ridged horizon, their thoughtless destination. We follow at a fearful gallop, keeping up, but dreading our horses will blindly fall at some place the mustangs would sense ahead and sail across. We come alongside to turn them north, but inflict no deviation in their flight, no domestic acquiescence here. 3 hours later, they are in the corral, shiny wet, breathing harder from fear than exhaustion. A high-stepping show horse, the stallion heads his group to a corner, his knotted mane hanging far below his neck, tail held up but still nearly reaching the ground. He turns, and suddenly I catch his eye.
I wrote the poem you just heard about a time in the 1970s when I helped my brother gather a group of mustangs he had adopted from Nevada and brought to the Flint Hills. That roundup was both a memorable and totally hair-raising experience. It's not in the poem, but I'll share a little related story. After we rounded up the wild horses, my brother gave me one of the fillies. I worked with her, but I wasn't getting very far, so I had Frank Buckland up by Alta Vista work with her and ride her. He even kept her an extra month, but when we took her home, he warned me, "She's sure no child's horse." Soon after we brought her home, when I rode her, I'm not sure what happened, but I woke up flat on my back looking up at the sky. I realized she was just too much for me. Mustangs are different. So I gave her away to a full-time cowboy, Larry Pinkston, who rode her every day for many years looking after cattle across the Flint Hills. Larry told me she was one of the best horses he ever had, with more stamina. She never gave out. He rode her in the Flint Hills Rodeo Parade for years. She was a big, beautiful bay with a longer mane and tail than regular horses. She was something to see. So back to the poem, many years later when I joined the band Tallgrass Express, I started writing songs instead of poems. Thinking the Wild Horse Roundup might be of interest to people, I decided to try to turn that poem into a song, hoping the emotional effect of music could enhance it. However, I've always written my poetry in free verse, where I could use any word choice or structure I wanted, and I soon discovered it was very challenging to turn that free verse poem into song lyrics with regular rhythm and rhyme. I'm not sure how successful I was. This was an early effort in my songwriting, but I'm awfully proud of the instrumental work of my band partners at the time, Lauren Ratzloff on banjo and Charlie Lockridge on fiddle, who helped me on the recording you are about to hear from 2007, our second CD, Tallgrass Express Comes Back. So now you can compare these 2 different ways to tell a story, in poem and in song. Here again, it's Gathering the Wild Horses.
Hilltop, then west at a low, down to the draw and up the next slope. We're after the mustangs on that ridge far away to bring in the yearlings this cool autumn day. Tall grasses tremble in the October breeze. My horse snorts and jumps as he shows his unease. The air and stiffen, and off they do fly. The stallion had mares and colts by his side, 2 hardy yearlings on flank at his right. Ebony muscles all red-edged and black, fluid and running and not holding back. To the Blue Ridge to Horizon escape they will go, trace over the rim rock across the plateau. We follow behind them at such rate of speed, we pray this won't be the last day we see. The stallion still prancing his mane long and wild. He turns and I see deep down into his eyes, their threatening innocence, they're crystallized.